You can conduct your own survey by asking 100 of your friends if they are fully invested in Bitcoin and if they understand it. But even with institutional adoption, regulatory clarity, and capital entering the space, I believe the risk-reward proposition for Bitcoin in 2024 is the best it has ever been. Do your own investigation. If 95 say no, we should examine other excellent assets since Bitcoin is 15 years old. Was it a wise investment looking back 15 years after Manhattan was founded? Perhaps we should begin 2 centuries after Manhattan was laid out, looking back at 1776 and 1791. Would you say that real estate in Manhattan was a worthwhile investment? In 1865, following the end of the Civil War, was it wise to invest? Was it wise to put money into it back in 1970? Was it a wise purchase in 1995, 15 years later? According to Michael Saylor, co-founder and executive chairman of MicroStrategy, Bitcoin will continue to attract funding from more conventional sources. According to Saylor's latest Bloomberg interview, when Bitcoin proves to be a better investment option, investors will start to shift their money away from gold and real estate, which both have market capitalization in the multi-trillion-dollar range. My famous statement about buying the top forever still stands. One way out is using Bitcoin, considered the most valuable asset. As a result, Bitcoin is now a trillion-dollar asset class, right up there with tech giants like Google and Apple. However, Bitcoin differs from the Magnificent Seven in that it is not a firm, but rather an asset class. Those businesses just do not have the structural capacity to hold 10 or $100 trillion in capital. Gold, which is 10 times its current value, is thus Bitcoin's competitor. That index is up against it, the S&P 500. In the value storage race, it's up against real estate, an asset class worth 100 trillion plus. Because Bitcoin is technically better than other asset classes. We expect capital will continue to flow into Bitcoin from those places. Therefore, there is no use in the winners selling their winnings to purchase the losers. Furthermore, Saylor thinks that institutional buyers will keep driving demand for spot Bitcoin exchange-traded funds, which will keep the value of these products high. Was it wise to put money into London 20 years ago? Had purchasing property in London been a wise investment, say, 2 millennia after the Romans' arrival, surely you agree that these are rare and excellent qualities? After 15 years, it's still not late, is it? The victors spend their winnings on something worthwhile, while the losers cower in fear, correct? The precious item is too expensive for the losers to purchase. Therefore, they're terrified to buy it. After 3 centuries, wouldn't you agree that New York City property was the most costly in America? It has consistently commanded the highest price. It was probably about this time in 1976 that Apple Computer was founded. Was it a wise investment precisely 15 years after Apple Computer was founded? Verify the 1,993 or 1,996 Apple stock price. I believe Michael Dell suggested to the board in 1998 that they should wind down the business and return the funds to the stockholders. However, in all honesty, there were countless instances when it proved to be a wise purchase. Having a firm grasp on Bitcoin's use case is crucial, in my opinion. Capital in the digital realm. What size is that, anyway? $400 trillion, isn't it? In 2024, how much money will be locked up in various assets like real estate, stocks, bonds, currencies, collectibles, trophy assets, and precious metals? Most residential real estate has a monetary premium that accounts for around half of its value. We call it the capital. How on earth do you know that? Please take this short test that I'm about to offer you. Get down to Miami Beach, walk the length of the shore, and then tally up all the lights in one beachfront condo. You may also visit Monaco and try to tally all the lights. Additionally, you will see that a large majority of the condos do not have lights turned on during the night. This means that many people's savings are sitting in these unused assets. There are a lot of factors at play, but one of them is the perceived security of their funds. So, throughout the 1900s, fans essentially paid to support their favorite teams. What do you think wealthy people own once they amass a fortune? Everything from sports, franchises, to real estate, to businesses, to land, to timber rights, to oil rights, to coal, to bonds, to just plain old stuff was bought and sold. Why? Why? Because they were well aware that their savings would gradually disappear if they let it sit in the bank. Acquire whatever you desire. People buy art, including Picasso's, don't they? They make purchases. As a result, ideal digital capital never existed. Never before have I encountered a digital instrument that allowed me to imagine a scenario in which a wealthy Russian invested in Bitcoin. Now, in retrospect, looking back 30 years, I can say, all right, let's play that out, and you would be a wealthy Nigerian. Suddenly, you're filthy rich at Turk. So, you're now a wealthy Lebanese citizen, huh? We also need not be wealthy. Sure, everybody in the world with enough cash can, can't they? You have access to the most recent hundreds of history. As of 1930, you call 1930 Germany home. Is it a building or Bitcoin that you desire more? Argentina is where you call home, you know? So, what's your desire? You desire ownership of land, buildings, businesses, and Bitcoin. In 140 years, the value of the currency will plummet 5 times. Correct? This is the reason we want to major in history then. Looking back through history, you'll see that the currency fell countless times. It actually falls down everywhere, on average. On a global scale, it likely collapses once every 50 years. And that might just be me trying to be generous. Will it be too late then? So, if you ever needed to leave the nation on short notice, could you really just pack all of your belongings into your pocket and go? Also, it's probably not too late if that's not the case. Accordingly, your building will not be able to accompany you during that exercise. Your gold bars will not be able to accompany you. It is not possible to transfer ownership of your stock. People used to buy paintings from me with the idea that I'd eventually roll them up, but it might be difficult and most people can't afford Picasso's. The price is just a little bit off. What gives when you spend $237 on a week's worth of Picasso? Accordingly, Bitcoin stands for digital property. How much is digital property worth? Countless trillions of dollars. Is the price too high? No, not just yet. This amount is currently $1 trillion. Will it be considered overpriced when its value increases 100-fold? Very unlikely. It's likely that it will continue to appreciate at a rate higher than anything else you can purchase. Why? For the simple reason that it outshines all competing products. Find me a hotel that you can teleport to with the ease of a coin.